So now if I'm going to bring over these vectors from Illustrator to Photoshop, and I'm typing home, sweet, home, my text is left aligned, but because I clicked here to start the text, as soon as I go to center align, that spot where I initially clicked is going to become the center. So if I click away and then I center the text, that spot is where I click that center. Okay. And now I will readjust the leading. This is going to be pretty interesting here with the text for the neon effect. I want to close up the line spacing or the leading. So I go to type character, and it's hiding from me somewhere here, so I will hide it. Oh, there it was. And then I'll go again and I'll show it to get my character panel. Okay, then I want to decrease the lead, so I'll do that, or the line height. That's way too small, but now I will just use my arrow to get it how I want it, like that, just touching. And if I want to change the font, now is also a good time to do that. So you're in Illustrator, you're creating this text. I want to find a good font to do this with that'll be a fun effect and not just what you expect. And the font I want, I know it's here. It's a little hard to find. All right, not finding what I wanted here. So that's ridiculously hard to read. Don't want to do that. This phosphate. That's it. Phosphate. That's what it is called. That is the font, phosphate. All right, so what we really just have here is some text that we're going to be turning into vectors in a moment here. All right, do you guys need some help? All right, so I'll go back again. So I have the text, and I go type, create outlines, and now I don't want this filled because I want to control the color in Photoshop, right? So I'm going to tell the fill or the stroke, whatever your type is doing, to have no fill or stroke by choosing the none choice. That is the none choice. And now I'm going to choose Edit Copy. And toggle over to Photoshop. Now, I would really like it if you just look on screen and check out this next step. Because you copied something, if I go Command N for new, it's going to give me a document size based on what I just copied. But I need that to be larger than this. This is going to give me a cropped type text. And if you go to inches here, you'll see probably the easiest way to handle this is at this point to change the width to 11 and the height to 8.5 and click OK. Go ahead and do that. All right, so I have my new document and I have Command V for paste and make sure it's choosing path and click OK. It's work path. its work path. Okay, you okay? I'm going to resume, and here I'll change the name to Home Sweet Home. And I click on it. And click over here, you can see I can now select either individual letters or each word or parts of words. Now, this part is going to get a little tricky. So if you would watch, I think that will help a lot. So make sure you've named your path, and you may have something more simple than I have, but in any case, conceptually here, what you can do is, if we go to the direct selection tool and I click and drag, interesting, these are selecting these pieces as one piece, because really this is not a drawing of an H. This is a drawing of a small h and a large H. This is a drawing of a large H with a negative shape inside of it, like a punched hole, like a donut. These are not individual shapes. If I had wanted to bring over these as individual shapes, I could do that too. For now, let's just focus on it as it is, okay? So my next step is I can work with this in a couple of different layers. So let's make sure I have a new layer, right? That's a step we did not remember to do before. I am still recording, which is a good thing. And yes, when I made my new document, I could have made it black, but I didn't. I'm going to make it a gradient now on the background, zooming out of black to gray so that my shadows will show. If I have the whole background black, my shadows won't show, to give that nice distance effect from the backboard. Then I'll create a new layer for the text. This is going to be HSH for Home Sweet Home 1, or yeah, color 1. I don't know what that color is going to be yet. Yes, I do. It's going to be blue. HSH blue. Okay. And I'm on the layer. You're doing awesome, guys. Please let me know when you have issues sooner than later. All right, now I'm going to go make sure the HSH blue layer is selected, and switch over to the Paths panel and select my Home Sweet Home path. I know you're excited about this. You're just containing your joy. And now I need to figure out what color I want on my brush, right? So I'm going to go to the brush tool, and I'm going to enlarge the size of my brush to about 30 or 25, something like that. A guess right now, because of course if I don't like it, I will do it over again. And then I'll change the color to the color I want it to be, which is going to be a blue color. Blue color. Blue color. And this is going to be a darker blue color. Like so. Blue, I don't know if you see it a lot in neon, but this seems about right to me. So if I click on stroke, oh my god, that is so cool. Okay. So I'm going to undo it, Command Z. I'm going to go back to my brush size, Make it a little smaller. It's not working. Not working. Okay, 14. And again, if you're looking on screen, all I really need to do is, I don't need to click on the type as long as that layer, or a path object, I should say, it's not really a layer, it's a path object, is selected. And I click the paint with brush, stroke with brush, back to the brush size, make it a little bigger, stroke with brush, too big, undo, down arrow key on the brush size. So now it's 23, and stroke, nice. I'm going to change color. I'm going to give myself a green color to work with. There we go. Sort of a deep mint chip ice cream green. Food coloring green. And reduce the size of the brush. This time I'm going to paint on a new layer. So I reduce the size of the brush, and I want the thin new brushed line to be on its own layer. So I'm going to go up to the layer panel, and this will be HSH green. Making sure I'm targeting that layer. Go back to Photoshop, make sure the path is on, and now with the 10-point brush, right, 10 pixel brush, I'm going to stroke it again on top. Too thick, but pretty close. Your face is so cute. Look how cute you are. You're totally making my day. You're making my day. Totally. Right. I'm putting it on another layer. Maria is just so freaking adorable right now. She's just cracking me up. All right, so here, stroke it again. Boom. Now, here is a couple of places where filters can come in and layer masks. All right, this is going to be kind of sick. Let me just show you this. I know you're really into it. I can feel the concentration in the room, but let me just show you a couple of things. This is being recorded, and I'll go over it again, but I just kind of want you to see the bigger picture so that you're not just like an onion growing with your head under the ground or something. All right, so I'm going to duplicate that layer and hide it, this first one, which is the green one, and I'm going to go Command U, and I'm going to change the color to something warmer. No, I'm going to change the color to this other green, other greeny blue color. Come on. Right, that's more normal. There, warmer, okay? Now it's a little warmer. Now I have, at this point, this one. Oh, I have this. Let's hide that. I have this. I have this. And I have this. So selecting a layer, Command U, hue saturation. Here, I can see the effect. Okay. Two blues. And then this guy here. What if, it's the big what if, I were to mask some of that out, or if I'm feeling really I just don't want to do a mask today, okay? Don't make me do a mask. Probably easier, but you could essentially mask out or remove. Did I do that on the right layer? Nope, did not. My bad. Undo. There, now. You can't even see a difference up there. But what I'm doing is I'll show it here. Show it here. Oh, maybe that's because nothing happened. All right, so what I want to do is essentially I want to remove, let's just say from the green one, the outside. So I'll use my polygon lasso tool. That's probably my quickest way to show you this. And you're like, you have to do all that? Well, you might not have had to do all of this if you could have originally separated those letters into different types of paths. But what I'm trying to remove here is all of the outside of the path on. That's right. So that's one way I could do it. Another way I could do it is I could take the eraser, making sure the eraser is not too big. Stay with me here. So you would, I'll just do a couple of the letters so you can get the idea here. So you'd come through here and you would do this. You'd be like so happy because you're drinking your tea and you're and you're drinking your tea and you're fixing your letters and no one's bothering you for a little while. And you just get to do this with happiness. Right? So I could even take that out, but I'm not going to. Right click, shift click is a really nice quick way to get a lot of these lines out. So there you have it. Okay. When you get all of the rest of the background out the way you want, and then you start combining these different layers, you're going to get different color effects. Now look at the inside of the text versus the outside of the text. So this layer here is currently green. Command U. You see what's really changing is the inside. Probably just need to make it brighter or lighter. Lighter, darker. And that should just be the inside of the lines here, these inside lines. Command L is another way you could do it. Just compress this all. Change the background color. Command U. I kind of like those colors, but it just looks really swollen. Do you know what I mean? Okay. So when that starts happening, play with the lightness. And where that swelling is happening is here on this HSH blue layer. And lastly, there's a filter called Other, Maximize and Minimize. These filters will contract or expand the pixels. They seem like the names are reversed. I'm actually going to choose Maximize, and Maximize makes less. Look how cool this is. I really hope you're seeing this. Okay, so it's actually squishing or compressing the pixel. Look at this layer now by itself. Looks like that. Okay. So that was Maximize, which seems like it should make it bigger, but it doesn't. It makes it smaller. Okay, not my idea to call it that, but again, it's filter. What I just did was maximum. See, it's really diminished it there. Filter, Other, Maximum, and if I bring this down to like 1 pixel or 2 pixels, it chokes it in. That's called maximum. And now when I start combining the letters, I have like an other different effect. Let's get that off there. Make sense? Okay. Your job now. You do it. Please let me know if you have any questions. Now I have red and blue and blue. There we go.